We stayed in that hotel room for 6 months. We hardly left. RJ watched the shows and took a lot of calls from network executives. They seemed to think that he had some special understanding of what their shows were trying to do, and they called him to ask for his advice. He'd suggest ideas and plead with them for a more human handling of their guests. He spent a lot of time explaining to these shows how it wasn't necessary to treat people like shit just to boost their ratings. And he told me he had a feeling that they were gradually coming around to his way of thinking. Philip made a few more feeble attempts at Christine. Once he made it as far as her bedroom, but she was asleep, and he didn't want to wake her up. Anyway, he was crying so hard because the book she had open on her sleeping body was the same book his Aunt Jenny used to read to him when he was about Christine's age. And his Aunt Jenny was the only person other than his cousin Edward who had ever treated him with justice and a fair heart. Helen spent several weeks in the hospital recovering from a subdural hematoma. She called me from the hospital daily. Still continues to do so. Asking me questions and counseling me about moderate, civilized behavior. And I have learned to listen patiently and sigh pleasantly like I agree and like I'm trying to truly change. But I'm not agreeing with her or even thinking about what she's saying any more than I'm thinking about RJ on the phone and his TV people and, all those sad, desperate people telling all those experts how to live their lives better and blah, 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 blah. I'm not really listening. I'm not really there. I'm in hell. I'm more desperate than anybody I ever hear on those shows, and I'm trapped in a sadness and an anger so deep that I know I'll never get out. Because I'm just slipping deeper into sadness and deeper into the anger. I have horrible thoughts about doing horrible things to people. If I were on one of those shows and I told people how I really felt and what I really wanted to do, they wouldn't be able to give me any advice. They wouldn't even be able to talk. Maybe they just cancel the fucking show. If I leaned over in bed and told RJ what I really felt about everything, about life, about our life and everyone else's life and how really useless and stupid it all is, he'd die probably. He'd give up and die. So I don't tell him. I tell him that I'm waiting. I'm being a good girl, seeing if things work out. I tell him maybe there's still a chance that we'll get Christine. But I know things don't work out. Not for people like us. They just get worse. Until, you can't take it anymore. And then you really do get bad. Helen thinks she knows how bad I am. She probably thinks knows how sad I am too. She's wrong. She hasn't got a clue. She might find out though. Maybe I'll just come up with a way of letting her know.